Nightly Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, new MoU signed with Saudi Arabia on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum on Investment. Foreign Minister, while participating in the event, called the Global North to walk the talk.
Don't close the channels of diplomacy.
Sri Lanka's IMF proposed an economic plan to become law. The State Finance Minister reiterates that we cannot differ from the program.
All these new initiatives will be embedded to the law of Sri Lanka that will give confidence locally as well as internationally.
Stocks are back in the green and turnover has exceeded 4 billion rupees for the second time in 2 weeks. Elon Musk visits Beijing with media reports saying he aims to discuss enabling autonomous driving mode on Tesla cars in China.
From Studio 24, here's Sina Mayadune.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us. A memorandum of understanding will be signed with Saudi Arabia and Sri Lanka in order to ensure investor protection for investments coming from the region. Speaking to the Nightly Business Report from Riyadh, Minister Ali Sabri said that Sri Lanka is actively seeking new investors from the region while participating in the economic forum.
Sri Lankan Foreign Minister Ali Sabri told the World Economic Forum that the Global North must walk the talk and collaborate with the Global South to ensure access to low-cost funding, debt relief and bridging the digital divide.
Countries in the Global South need the support of the Global North on having access to low-cost funding, debt relief, transition of latest technology, the digital divide. So I think this is time for the Global North to walk the talk and collaborate with it.
Foreign Minister Sabri was speaking at a panel on North to South, East to West Rebuilding Trust at a special meeting on global collaboration, growth and energy for development in 2024. While speaking to the Nightly Business Report, the minister said that Sri Lanka continues to have bilateral discussions with the potential investors in many areas of interest.
As an investment destination for the world economic community in renewable energy, in port development, in hospitality trade, in aviation, as an IT hub and a logistic hub in the region. So far discussions have gone very well. I took part on 2 panel discussions, one on building trust among the Global North and the Global South, representing the Global South. Along with that, I also took part on urban development, the opportunities in the region and also in Sri Lanka for sustainable development in the region. I also met on the sideline of my meeting the Saudi Foreign Minister, as well as I'm planning to meet the Economy Minister, and also sign the partnership between the 2 countries on an MoU for investment protection that will pave the way for future investment from Saudi Arabia.
State Minister of Finance Shahan Singh says the government is moving ahead to ensure that the current IMF reforms become law. He believes that despite future government changes, economic proposals and economic stability are essential for Sri Lanka to emerge from the current crisis.
We will have a new legislation which is an initiative of the President. It is a sheer initiative of the President which is very well accepted internationally. Even the IMF authorities were very much appreciative. The World Bank was very much appreciative. The OCC and our creditors were appreciative of this new economic transformation legislation.
What does it do?
Well, that will have a clear path on how the economy will progress and all the reforms which have been carried forward. What we have carried up to now, which are to be carried forward, will be embedded to the law of the country.
Which means that this is set in stone for the nations. Basically, this is going to be part of the constitution. The IMF program is going to be part of the constitution.
I would like to word it like this: this would be one of the most critical legislations in Sri Lanka to ensure continuity of economic development.
State Tourism Minister Derana said Sri Lanka has seen some improvements in nighttime economic activities, but some more steps need to be taken to attract tourists. Gamage, since becoming the State Tourism Minister, has promoted nighttime economic activities to create more options for foreign visitors to Sri Lanka.
The idea is to improve the tax revenue through nighttime dining and entertainment, particularly from excise duties. The state minister in the past had said regulations on nightlife should be relaxed to drive economic activities and provide entertainment options to tourists, particularly in beach areas, which could be major attractions for the visitors. State Minister Derana emphasized the need for flexibility in entertainment hours to accommodate varying cultural norms and preferences, to recognize the importance of extending entertainment hours and enhance the overall tourism experience with an aim to attract more visitors to the country.
In 2023, the net contributions to Sri Lanka's Employees Provident Fund became negative as refunds to members and their beneficiaries surpassed the contributions made to the fund during that year. Data from the central bank revealed that contributions to the EPF amounted to 210.6 billion rupees, marking an increase of 8.2% from the previous year's 194.6 billion rupees.
According to the data provided by the central bank, total refunds surged by 32.4% to 215.9 billion rupees from 163 billion rupees. In 2022, the government's securities held by the EPF were restructured to meet the International Monetary Fund's gross financing needs targets by extending their maturities. In 2023, 25.8 billion rupees were disbursed as pre-retirement refunds to 42,603 members, and additional 4.236 billion rupees were allocated for overdue settlement of housing loans. Despite net withdrawals, the value of the EPF increased by 11.5% to 3,857.4 billion rupees in 2023. Despite the net withdrawals, the value of the EPF increased by 11.5% to 3,857.4 billion rupees in 2023, attributed to returns generated by the fund managers, which is the central bank.
Let's take a short commercial break now. We'll be back with the latest updates on the Colombo Stock Exchange. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Let's take you to the Colombo Stock Exchange and get you the latest market data. Seems like the positive trend continues at the beginning of this week, with both indices in the green. The All Share Price Index gained about a percentage point, while the more lucrative S&P SL20 Index gained about 1.5 points. Let's break down the data for you, and for that, let's go to Chintaka Jeevaratne from SC Securities standing by.
Yes. In today's market, the All Share Price Index closed at 12,310 points, up by almost 110 points, with the S&P SL20 Index ended at 3,686 points, showing a 52-point increase from the previous session. Total trading volume reached 166.692 million shares, with a turnover of 4,139 million rupees. The top 5 contributors to the positive side were Waskadua Beach Resort Rides, Paragon Ceylon, Beruwala Resorts, Hikkadua Beach Resort, and Tess Agro. On the flip side, the top 5 negative contributors recorded as Industrial Asphalts, Blue Diamond Jewelry, Capital Alliance, SMB Finance, and Tess Agro non-voting. Moving on to the sector-wise performance, banking, construction, and diversified conglomerates showed a continued interest among the investors. 12 crossings were recorded, totaling 607 billion rupees, with Commercial Bank, Ceylon Coal Stores, and PGP Glass Ceylon making the top 3 crossings in terms of turnover.
So can this positive trend of the market continue throughout this week as well, just like last week? Well, here's Zaima Jihad from First Capital Holdings with a market forecast for this week.
Thank you. We have seen the stock market on the green zone during the last few sessions, and today also we saw it closing at 12,311, gaining 110 points, marking the 5th consecutive session of gains as investors displayed a very positive sentiment. We expect this uptrend to extend to this week as well, with an active participation coming from both retail and high net worth investors. Expectations on a fast conclusion in the external debt restructuring is one of the main reasons contributing to this bullish trend, while another key factor supporting this momentum is the decline in interest rates, where AWPLR is currently at near 10% level. So on that note, banking sector counters are seeing more traction these days, and we expect that the interest on the counter will continue through this week as well. With these developments and also with the expectation on upcoming quarter results, we are expecting ASPI to re-rate positively in the period ahead.
Gold prices moved a little in Asian trade today, seeing little relief from recent losses as traders continue to price in higher for longer U.S. interest rates before a Federal Reserve meeting later this week. The yellow metal tumbled from record highs hit earlier in April as safe haven demand waned in the absence of any escalation between Iran and Israel. This left gold vulnerable to outflows in the face of restrictive U.S. monetary policy. Spot gold steadied at $2,334.66 an ounce, while gold futures expiring in June were flat around $2,345.60 an ounce. A relatively strong dollar also weighed on gold, especially in the wake of a hotter than expected reading on the PCE price index, which is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. Oil prices also fell in Asian trade today, reversing course from last week's gains as fears of higher for longer U.S. interest rates and a stronger dollar weighed on crude markets. Crude prices were sitting on some gains from last week as markets retained some risk premium as earlier mentioned. The Israel-Hamas war raged on, while bets on tighter market persisted. But they were still trading well off heights hit earlier in April as an Israel-Iran war failed to materialize, while weak U.S. economic data raised concerns over slowing demand. Brent oil futures expiring in June fell by 1.1% to $88.53 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell 1% to $82.98 a barrel. The Sri Lankan rupee has depreciated slightly against the US dollar at commercial banks today compared to last week. At Sampan Bank, the buying and selling rates of the US dollar are unchanged at 291 rupees and 50 cents and rupees 350 cents respectively. Now here's a look at how the rupee fared against other currencies during the day today. We move on to a short commercial break and news from the corporate world coming on the other side. Welcome back. Toyota Lanka Private Limited recently hosted its 16th annual dealer convention to honor and recognize the outstanding contributions of its 500 authorized partners nationwide.
The convention served as a platform to acknowledge the pivotal role played by these partners in the distribution of Toyota Genuine Motor Oil, Toyota Genuine Spare Parts, Pirelli Accelera and Otani Tires, ensuring the highest standards of quality and service for customers across Sri Lanka. The convention celebrated excellence by presenting awards to deserving winners across various categories. Among them were Autoworld Private Limited, which was awarded as the winner of Authorized Service Dealer category, while Viscom Motors Service Centre Private Limited sealed the collard as the winner of the Authorized Parts Dealer category. Moreover, Sterling Automobiles Lanka Private Limited was awarded as the winner of the Best Service Chain category, while many more merchants were recognized under various branches of recognition. Virtusa Corporation, a global provider of digital engineering and IT services,
proudly hosted the first ever LinkedIn community event in Sri Lanka dubbed Connect Colombo.
The landmark event took place at the Courtyard by Marriott, marking a significant milestone in the country's professional networking landscape. Bringing together over 200 industry leaders and meet to senior level executives, Connect Colombo served as a dynamic platform for discussions on pivotal topics such as networking and personal branding. The event featured 3 insightful sessions headlined by renowned professionals from diverse sectors.
Driving the adoption of green energy practices across the country, Haley Solar has entered into an agreement with the Bank of Ceylon. This partnership will result in providing low-interest loans for both residential and commercial customers in a bid to encourage them to make the transition to renewable energy. Customers can take advantage of the partnership's exceptional financial schemes, which offer loan plans with the lowest interest rates in the market with a 7-year repayment period. Pan Asia Banking Corporation plc reported a steady performance reflecting improved macroeconomic conditions. The bank reported its financial performance during the first quarter of 2024, which showed judicious portfolio management and prudency exercised in dealing with possible fallout on its asset quality in challenging times. The bank reported a pre-tax profit of 796 million rupees for the quarter ended 31st of March this year. It is 47% increase compared to the corresponding quarter last year, supported by improved net interest income, net fee and commission income, and other operating income. SLASCOM has unveiled a pioneering collaboration with STEMUp Educational Foundation, an innovative online platform dedicated to fostering an interest in STEM careers among students. This collaboration is focused on launching an online internship platform designed to enhance opportunities for aspiring tech professionals, addressing the industry's growing demand for skilled talent by providing practical, hands-on experience in the technology field. This partnership between SLASCOM and STEMUp addresses a critical need for skilled professionals in the technology sector. IT is simultaneously offering a solution to the challenges faced by individuals seeking practical experience in their field of interest. A short break now, business updates around the globe after this. Welcome back. Most Asian stocks rose today as technology shares tracked strong gains in their Wall Street peers, while Chinese markets advanced after the government further loosened some restrictions on the property market. Regional markets looked past fears of higher for longer US rates following strong inflation data released last week. But said fears are expected to ramp up as a Federal Reserve meeting draws closer this week. China's Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 and Shanghai Composite indices rose 1.3% and 0.8% respectively, outperforming most of their regional peers. Hong Kong's Hang Seng was the best performer in Asia, rising 1.7% on gains in technology and property stocks. The index was now trading 20% above 5-year lows hit in late January and was close to entering bull market territory. Meanwhile, South Korea's Kospi added 0.8% on gains in heavyweight chip-making stocks. Adani Connex, a 50-50 joint venture between Adani Enterprises and Edge Connex, has established one of South Asia's largest sustainability-linked financing to raise up to USD 1.44 billion.
The financing has an initial commitment of $875 million with an accordion feature to extend commitment up to $1.44 billion. The transaction elevates Adani Connex's construction financing pool to $1.65 billion, building on the maiden construction facility of $213 million executed in June 2023. The upcoming data center facilities will employ state-of-the-art technologies and renewable energy solutions to minimize the ecological footprint while optimizing operational efficiency. The sustainability-linked financing reinforces Adani Connex's commitment towards driving a safety-first culture, delivering world-class power usage effectiveness or PUEs by adopting global best practices and leveraging renewable energy sources.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk arrived in Beijing yesterday on an unannounced visit where he was expected to discuss the rollout of full self-driving software and permission to transfer data overseas.
Elon Musk met Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Beijing in a surprise trip on Sunday. The visit was to discuss the rollout of full self-driving software and permission to transfer data overseas, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. Full self-driving software, or FSD, is the most autonomous version of Tesla's autopilot software, launched 4 years ago. However, the US electric vehicle maker has yet to make it available in China, its second largest market globally. Musk said this month Tesla may make FSD available to customers in China very soon. Industry experts say the complicated and busy traffic conditions in China provide more scenarios that are key for training autonomous driving algorithms at a faster pace. But Tesla is grappling with falling sales and an intensifying price war for EVs led by Chinese brands. There are also safety concerns. Tesla recalled more than 2 million vehicles in the United States in December to install new autopilot safeguards. US auto safety regulators said on Friday they'd opened an investigation into whether that was adequate, following a series of crashes. Tesla shares are down almost a third since the start of the year, as concerns have grown about the EV maker's growth trajectory.
Well, that's it from the Nightly Business Report. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. I'm Sina Mayadune.